violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And let's get into the video.
And this next story sounds like something out of the Wild West, but no, it happened right here in Metro Atlanta. APD confirming a reported train robbery. You definitely don't hear about that every day. The train was positioned along the tracks crossing Parrott Avenue Northwest. That's near the southern crossing of the perimeter over the Chattahoochee River.
Wow. So we got dudes hitting licks on trains. And I don't know who this was. I don't know who it could be. But all I'm saying is this was a mission in GTA. And a lot of people are like, it's not, GTA isn't a reason. I'm never saying that GTA is a reason why people are doing what they're doing. I'm just saying there could be certain inspirations. Now, I love GTA. I don't think it should be banned in any way or anything like that. I think all that is dumb. People should just have better parents and watch what their kids are doing. But this is literally a mission off of GTA, so I thought it was funny to cover this and try and draw some parallels as to what would give you the idea to jack a train. Because, these trains are traveling, and sometimes, super gremlins just hang out by the train tracks. That's really a thing. I know dudes who gas up by the train tracks, you know what I'm saying? And whatever, try and catch a ride on the train tracks. I've seen dudes hitchhike on trains. So, it's common to have like bummy people on the train tracks and around the train tracks if they're not working. So maybe they scoped something out. Maybe they scoped the pattern in the train's travel, and they took advantage. But we've seen this happen a lot, and it's probably going to happen more often.
So not many details have been released so far. APD tells us that Norfolk Southern is the lead responding agency to the incident. Our crew on the scene saw officers picking up boxes left sitting along the tracks. As far as we know, no one was injured.
New at 5, a Cobb County deputy is out of a job and facing criminal charges tonight following a week-long investigation.
Wow. So we got a Cobb County deputy, and he's a brother, and he's bringing in contraband, probably, made friends with some of the inmates, because that could happen, all right? A lot of dudes come from the same area. They relate to the same things, and it's not hard for a deputy at a prison who's working a prison to get friendly with the inmates, or some of them at least, right? Just like you make friends, you make enemies. So it's on both sides, but looks like he was trying to sneak some dope into the prison, and man, is that costing him? It's never worth it, bruh. It's never worth it. Especially you going through security protocols to move, like that is super high risk.
The Cobb County Sheriff's Office made the announcement in just the past hour. The Sheriff's Office arrested Deputy Diamond Johnson on 4 felony counts.
Come on, Diamond. And whoever spelled Diamond the way that they did on your name should be ashamed of themselves, man. Are you serious?
Charges include violating his oath of office and crossing guard lines with a controlled substance. The investigation began last Monday after deputies discovered contraband in the Cobb County Adult Detention Center. The sheriff's office fired Johnson immediately after his arrest.
There's now a $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the person responsible for killing a doctor in Brookhaven earlier this month. Dr. Matthew Wilson was lying in bed inside an apartment earlier this month when police say someone recklessly fired a gun.
Man. So this doctor apparently is from the UK, and he came over here to find work. And man, he's laying in his apartment and he's shot. Welcome to Atlanta. These dudes in the UK, they're slowly figuring out that these firearms ain't nothing to play with. And these super gremlins carrying these firearms definitely ain't nothing to play with. So there will be no outrage for this guy. You're not gonna see people in the UK protesting, his life mattered or anything like that. You're not gonna see that. Just business as usual. And it's sad because I know he's leaving a girl behind. It's just crazy that you could come here from another country, think you're finna make a way, think you're finna open up some opportunities for you, especially financially, and you're laying down in your apartment and get clapped by one of these super gremlins, recklessly shooting on demon time.
They say a bullet went through the apartment wall and his headboard, killing Wilson. He had been visiting Georgia from England.
We're going to have to start investing in some bulletproof headboards, some bulletproof bed frames, some bulletproof mattresses, because the community is out of control, and I don't think we want to fix the problem that we have within. We're not equipped to do it. We don't want to do it. We don't think there's a problem, as a matter of fact. Not enough of us. And that's the issue right there.
Brookhaven police say this appears to be random, but if you have any information, you're asked to contact Brookhaven police or call Crime Stoppers to submit a tip anonymously at the number right there on your screen.
Well, developing now, DeKalb County police are investigating after a woman's body was found on Marbut Road, and that's just north of Stonecrest. And Channel 2's Kristen Holloway joins us now live. And Kristen, what are you hearing from police?
Yeah, Fred, DeKalb investigators told me right now it's unclear how that woman died, but they spent about 3 hours looking at any possible evidence in the grass here behind me and in the wooded area here on Marbut Road in Lithonia.
I told you guys, man, women, children, nobody's off limits from getting that smoke from super gremlins. Apparently, it's a trend to start dumping women's dead bodies on the side of the road. We got Tioni Theus, and then we got this woman in DeKalb County. But there will be no outrage for this case either. Maybe because she's not as young as Tioni. But I'm telling you, the black community is just going to overlook this. Like, another dead woman thrown on the side of the road like roadkill. Just hit a deer. Nothing to see here. It's crazy.
I spoke to a neighbor who says he was shocked and now concerned to hear a woman's body was found not too far from his neighborhood.
I initially heard through social media. That's how I got the word.
Curtis Terrell was in disbelief when he saw DeKalb County police on Marbut Road trying to piece together a death investigation not too far from where he lives in Lithonia.
Kind of shocking. I really didn't believe it because this is Lithonia. Like this part of Lithonia, nothing really happens. It's quiet, it's boring.
And Lithonia is a great place to live, certain parts definitely. But anywhere in DeKalb County, you can pretty much experience demon time. Anywhere within a 30 to 45 vicinity of Atlanta, and now it's stretching even past that. But whoo, it's tough, man. It's getting worse, and this isn't going to be the only woman whose body is found on the side of the road in 2022.
This is what the scene looked like for several hours. The investigator on scene told us a neighbor or driver called police just before 8 this morning, saying a woman's body was on the side of the road. He says they aren't sure what caused the woman's death, but they haven't ruled out a car accident or a homicide, but they won't know until they receive the autopsy from the medical examiner.
That's alarming. Yeah, it's very alarming. It's kind of eye-awakening type of moment because of the schools right here. And like I said, it's a residential area. It's very quiet on this end.
And again, there are several possibilities involving this death. Officers told me and investigators they didn't want to speculate and they wanted to wait on that official autopsy report. As soon as we get more information on the cause of death, we'll be sure to let you know. We are live in DeKalb County, Lithonia. Kristen Holloway, Channel 2 Action News.
Accidental shooting that has a lot of people talking. A 9-year-old shoots a 7-year-old when the younger child's mother jumped out of the car to get fast food. As Fox 5's Angelique Proctor.
Wow. A 9-year-old shoots a 7-year-old when the mom goes out to get fast food. I'm just gonna throw it out there. This is the Super Gremlin family, and it's unfortunate that this 9-year-old got a hold of this weapon and really got on his demon time stuff.
Doctor tells us it happened last night at a popular restaurant in Snellville.
Snellville police have the difficult task of determining whether either of these parents will be charged in this case. Keep in mind, by all accounts, this shooting was an accident.
Scary. I'm really so in shock right now. I didn't even know that happened.
Chipotle customers on scenic.
Sisters don't ever know when, unless the shooting happened to somebody they know. They don't. It's like they're oblivious. Like they always say, "Oh well, this don't happen here in this area." Like, bruh, come on.
Highway were alarmed by the news that a 9-year-old boy shot a 7-year-old boy in the face in this parking lot when their mom jumped out to get some food. The 9-year-old is her fiance's son. The 7-year-old is her son.
Wow. So blended family here, and they're beefing.
They were in a car owned by her fiance, and the two boys are like brothers.
9 and 7. They're innocent, they're children, things happen. It probably wasn't stored away properly, but it's an accident.
Parents. Yeah, you gotta, the parents, that's responsibility. You can't have any way to, you can't allow your kids to get access to dangerous weapons.
You have to be very careful and vigilant about gun safety around children. It's very important to keep them locked up, but from what I've heard so far about it, it just seems like an unfortunate accident.
Snellville police say the car and the gun belong to the stepfather. Detectives have to weigh the evidence and determine whether either or both of the adults who are in a relationship will be charged.
Wow. And we've seen them charge parents for recklessly storing firearms before, so I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I think that there definitely needs to be some responsibility, some accountability when it comes to this. And it's sad that you left the strap in the car and the 9-year-old is shooting the 7-year-old. I mean, why would they even do that? For one, that's crazy to me.
But that's hard to say. I can't even say because, I mean, I'm a mother. I wouldn't want to be charged.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't want to be charged for being a bad parent, but hey, here we are. You're a negligent parent. You didn't have the gun stored in the proper way. And now your kid is shot in the face. So what now?
If one, it wasn't my gun, and 2, it just really honestly being an accident.
I think some charges could be valid for, not handling firearm safety.
So you see the difference of opinions. The sister says, "Oh, I wouldn't want to be charged," and then the glider, he says, "You know what? I think some charges should be there. There's responsibility on the parents, thinking rational and logical, as you should. Definitely a negligence charge." That's the difference between the line of thinking, right? You clearly endangered your child, but you don't want to be charged because if it was you, you wouldn't want to be charged. That's just like me saying, hey, if I accidentally drove over my kid, I wouldn't want to be charged because it was an accident, but it's still manslaughter.
Properly, being careless with that.
The 7-year-old victim remains in the hospital. A detective told me today the young man is very fortunate that his injuries weren't more severe. In Snellville, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
We want to start with Channel 2's Michelle Newell live at a Snellville Chipotle where an 8-year-old was shot inside a car by a 9-year-old. All this happening while the mother was inside the restaurant placing an order. We first told you about this as breaking news at 6. And Michelle, you've learned a lot more information tonight.
Yeah, it's a good thing that child is alive and doing okay tonight. That shooting happened right here in a parking spot right outside of this Chipotle, and workers inside of the restaurant jumped in to help the child as soon as they saw him being carried in.
It was parked right here, and the kids were sitting in the back seat.
Johanna Cervantes is shocked over what she experienced at work today.
Some kids came in and they were screaming that someone shot him.
Police say a 9-year-old accidentally shot his 8-year-old stepbrother with his stepdad's gun. It was left unsecured in a car that was parked at this Chipotle in Snellville. Police say the mother was inside ordering food when it happened.
You can see the visible gunshot wound coming out from his ear.
Woo! That boy's lucky to be alive.
Chipotle employees jumped in to help the child right away.
We just stayed here applying pressure to the wound until the paramedics came. The mom was...
You see, brothers is like, we wouldn't do that. There wouldn't be no applying pressure. It'd be like, damn, just watching. So shout out to this woman, reacted quick and did what she needed to do to help save this kid's life.
We just stayed here applying pressure to the wound until the paramedics came. The mom was right there. She was the one putting on the towel on his wound.
Earlier this month, a child accidentally shot and killed a 1-year-old in Atlanta after police say a gun was left inside of a room. Last December, a 1-year-old was shot after coming into contact with a gun in a southwest Atlanta home. Last November, 2 children died from being shot. One was only 5 years old. She was accidentally shot and killed on Thanksgiving Day in South Fulton. According to Gifford's Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence, 4.6 million minors in the U.S. live in homes with at least one loaded and unsecured firearm. 70% of parents reported that their children could not independently access firearms in their household. But over 1/3 of the children belonging to those households reported being able to access the firearm in less than 5 minutes. Back at Chipotle in Snellville, workers are just thankful the child they helped is alive.
It was like a child. I have a baby brother, and so it's just so sad.
And Michelle back with us live now. Michelle, I know you've been speaking with cops all night. Do you know if anyone will be held responsible for what happened here?
Well, police told me they still have to conduct several interviews before they figure out whether or not charges will be appropriate, Chris.
Well, Michelle, I'm glad the child will be okay, but as parents, we simply just have to do a better job at securing our guns. Michelle, thank you.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.